Did you hear? 2 big shots arrived. Wonder what they want.
Right, the Kran. Yep. All in all, a decent
Turned me away at the door, the bastard.
a decent exploration here. No, I didn't get the thing. I got caught.
We'll meet later. Don't forget your weapons on the way out.
Okay. Oh man, but I didn't level up. Oh, I should equip those weapons. That's interesting that it doesn't automatically equip. (11 to 14). That's quite strong. No bleeding, but it's got a lot of damage. Silver sword. Trophies. Endurga trophy. Let's do that. Cool. Now I've got it hanging off of my belt, which is always fun. Okay. Still don't know where to get bombs from. No, none of the shops are open now. I've already checked all those shops anyway.
Boys pull punching tricks, that's how they get their bloody witch. But hear me when I say an oran's a tiny... Blossom's got a garrison. We don't need a witcher.
Oh, people in chat are saying, Cedric, it's Cedric. Ah, yes, of course, I remember he had traps he could sell me. Cool. Let's wait until dawn. We'll go get some bombs. What time is it? Yeah, I've got another 10 or 15 minutes of play left to go, so we'll keep doing that for a little while. Maybe we can knock out some necker nests. Meditate. Till 9. That's so neat how, like, everything in the background moves around. That's really well done. These women are like, what on earth is going on here? Let's see. It's funny to just be meditating out in the middle of nowhere and have people just walk around you. Oops, I'm getting... Let's see if you all friends. Busy. Interesting. There appears to be no way to silence notifications without just straight up going offline. Pretty lame, Steam. That was me. Me getting Steam chats. I'm hungry. I think my wife is making toast. Beautiful lighting. Alright, Cedric, sell me your bombs. Oh, hey Saladrin. Yeah, that was Saladrin talking to me on Steam. It's no problem. Let's trade. Alchemy, Essence of Death, Troll Tongue. Holy hell. 439. Lots of stuff. Ranged weapons. Traps. Bombs. Great. 101 coins. What? Insufficient funds. Right. Is there anything I can sell for a large amount of money? All goods. Cloth. Leather, twine, cortinarius, a whetstone, moon rune. Ooh. Kairan trap. Formula, grape shot. Only 70 orens. Purchased. Probably should have done that first. Interesting. No, I don't want to meditate. I want to alchemy. Grape shot. Oh man, I only have one Endriga venom? Oh, that's a shame. Oh, let's do that. Let's do amethyst dust instead. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, and then I'll have 10. Excellent. That's much better. Wow. Kinda sucks that I was able to buy one for 101 and then buy the recipe for 70 and make 10 at no cost. Ugh. Okay, cool. Let's go kill some neckers. Those swords really do appear and disappear a lot. I wonder what about the tech made those swords specifically be something that gets like clipped out all the time. Ooh, I should make a cat potion as well. Cat. I know I'm going to have a lot of dark places to explore. Cool. And then maybe swallow? Now, brown oil increases bleeding. Yes. Amethyst dust instead of Endriga venom. Wolf's bane. Or Endriga saliva. Well, I probably don't need much more than 2 brown oils. That's a nice bleeding thing. That's a bomb. I'm trying to see if there's any potions I can have that, like, increases my critical effect application. I don't think I have one right now. No. Okay, good. Now let's see. I just want to confirm that it's the neckers. Yeah, bleeding. No, it's my inventory. Okay, there we go. So, where are the Necker's tunnels? I think they're on the other side of town, basically. So, we'll cut through. Yeah, people in chat are talking about inventory limits because I can carry around so much stuff, and I don't even have any packs on me. games like Dungeons and Dragons on the tabletop that focus on inventory systems and management, they tend to make that very important. Almost like, you know, Diablo 2, what you were carrying in your pack became really important, and especially with like charms and things like that. Your ability to carry more stuff back with you translated directly into your ability to get more money, which was kind of like the big point of the game, right? There we go. Now I'm going to drink some potions, apply some oils. So I'll drink a cat and a swallow. Rook. Increase damage with swords. Lapwing. Ah. Drank it. Whereas in video games, oftentimes a realistic inventory system can just become annoying. So how to do it well without it being annoying. And then let's see. I'm going to apply a brown oil to my silver sword. Cool. I love the cat potion. It's super cool. Lets you see heartbeats and blood drops and all sorts of really cool stuff.
Guess they'll never learn.
Whoa! Whoa. Okay, good. Lots of ingredients. So there's a guy here. Don't know who he is, but he's definitely dead. Ooh, lots of neckers here right now. That's a little scary. Yikes. That hurt a lot. Oh, I think he got me in the back, and that dealt a large amount of damage. I wonder if I should have saved. I think I'm going to kill all these neckers, do a little Q&A, and call it a day. So, good. Right, back to Cedric. I don't have to buy that bomb for so much money. Oh, do I need to get my equipment back? Yes, I need to manually grab my equipment. Yep. Longsword, Witcher's silver sword. Actually, it wasn't like, it's a Temerian sword. Deals more damage. Good, I can equip the trophy as well. Awesome. Saved.
Want to play soldiers and squirrels?
Where's Cedric? Yeah, I'm heading the right way now. Apparently I'm looking in the wrong place for the nests. I don't know, I thought I remembered the nests being back in that cave, like in the very back. Well, we're gonna be out here, so, you know, we can take a look at it.
In my eyes from staring at that forest.
Try to keep the spoilers to a minimum, guys. Let's trade. Got it, got it. Devil's Puffball. Grape Shot. Yep, buy it. Red Haze. Stench Bulb. Zaracanian Sun. Interesting. Well, all very curious things. I'd love to get some traps, but I have not enough money for anything. Thanks, Field Medic. It's also interesting from a design perspective to see what's easy to figure out on your own and what, you know, what is hard to figure out on your own. So, you know, when chat starts talking about the answers to problems, I know it pushes the let's play part of the game forwards, but it does actually, to a certain extent, hinder the exploration of the design of the game. So we'll create 10 of these. And then we'll do some brown oil. Yes. Done. Oh, cat, of course. Alchemy, cat. And what else provides that? Androgoslaiva. 2 of those, and swallow. Yep. Destroy all the entrances to the Necker tunnels. Now, without chat's help, I currently have no idea where those entrances are. And I want to equip Grape Shot and Conflagration, Snare, Biter. Excellent. So I guess now I'm just kind of exploring out in the forest. Oh, hey, look. A dead person. Oh, that's kind of a shame. Good money, though. Interesting place. Looks kind of gravesite-like. Yeah, totally. Total graveyard. Now I'm like right above the town, which is not where I want to be, so... But while I'm out here, I mean, I've got a bunch of stuff to do out in the forest, so it's not like it's a bad thing that I need to explore to find the Necker nests. Because I also need to kill Endrigas. I also need to find the crashed boat in order to get Kairan venom.
Die.
Okay. Cool. Oh, yikes. Back attacks are brutal in The Witcher 2. If you get stabbed in the back, it's really the end. Hey! There we go.
Thank you, Master. Drives me mad. This cursed wood is full of scum, and that horseman has lost his mind.
Who might that be?
The troll! For years he's been collecting tolls at the bridge, for which is to keep the bridge tidy and drive away the scum.
What's the problem then?
Merchants from the port sent me to find out the what and why, seeing as this is the only path out to the port inland. But I found the bridge in ruins, and that cheeky cocksucker asked for liquor to let me pass. Across that pile of rubble, I says, and he smacks me so hard I see stars. We need a bridge, but a working one. And we need a troll, but a sober one. If you're looking to make some coin, hold off on killing the troll and see the village chief instead. He'll tell you all you need to know.
See the village chief. Talk to Chorab. Or kill the monster. So there's a troll down there somewhere, eh? I don't even see him. Disappoint. Okay, but clearly no Necker nests here. Ooh. Nice. Circle of power. Now I know Endrigas like to rest in swampy, marshy lowlands, but I don't know where Neckers like to congregate. Whoa, a trap. Well, well.
Damn, you're ugly.
Okay. Where'd that extra body go? There we go. Looks like there's a lot of death around here, and these arrows do not look like Endriga killings. They look like Scoia'tael. Uh-oh. A Necker! So, Gwen. Cool. So, maybe I'm getting into the right location. In the meantime, let's drop some of this. Arachnid oil, brown oil on my silver sword. This does look promising. Looks like I've got some neckers headed this way. Whoa. Oh no! Stab in the back. You know, I haven't saved in a while, have I? No. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Where am I? Wow, did I really not save after getting Cedric's stuff? Okay, so Q&A time, guys. I'll go get Cedric's stuff while I answer questions from chat. That's really annoying. Sorry about that. So, is there anything else that today's session... Are there any questions that it's raised for you? I thought I auto-saved as well. It surprised me. It surprises me that the auto-saves are not... are that unaggressive. Calgram asks, what would be my opinion if the inventory was more realistic? Like, everything not in your pockets is kept in a rendered bag that you have to fight to put down to fight unencumbered, then things could steal it, making you have to plan ahead much more. What you described, Calgram, sounds really annoying, unfortunately. Because it's just not really a part of the experience of being a Witcher. Like, your equipment is vulnerable and dangerous. Like what you say about needing to prepare by putting your equipment in a safe spot. That seems interesting, but on the whole, like, I don't know that inventory systems serve a strong purpose in many games. Some games are very intensely about resource management and managing how much of things that you have. And in games where your resources really define your survivability, that's really interesting. So if The Witcher was much more about, like, you need food and you need water and you need a certain amount of all of the items that you want to bring with you, and like you couldn't just bring all of the potions, you had to decide which potions you're bringing with you. Like you have a bandolier and it's got 4 potions on it, so you prepare and then you equip 4 potions and then that's all you have. That could be much more interesting, because all of a sudden the game is about inventory management, becomes meaningful in a way that leads to your success or failure in the game, rather than it simply being you can carry all this stuff with you, but there are extra steps you have to take before you can fight. So something where you're not like picking and choosing constantly through your inventory, like, do I want to keep this or do I want to keep that, but more like you have access to your inventory at all times, but your preparation is a limited subset from your inventory. That could be kind of cool. Thoughts about being able to rob people without them giving a, caring at all? Soot Shade is asking. In RPGs in general, I guess. It can kind of break immersion, but if it's not important, then it's not important, right? It's interesting that they've decided that this is the way that The Witcher gathers most of his crafting materials, is just like taking them from random places around. But on the whole, it's not too bad. Now cat. Cool. And now I'll save this, and then we'll go back to the view that's all Q&A all the time. So, saved, auto-saved, exit to main menu. There we go. Now there's some Q&A time, so more questions, throw them my way. Whatever you guys would like to hear. Why did I choose with The Witcher 2 for the designer plays? A designer plays, not the. And what other games did I consider? I put up a straw poll with like every game in my Steam library that I haven't played yet. And people voted overwhelmingly for both The Witcher 2 and Dragon Age Origins. And The Witcher 2 barely edged out Dragon Age Origins, and so that's what I'm playing. Boy in France asks, is the town too much of a sanctuary from danger, and are these safe zones really necessary? That's an interesting question, especially in the context of The Witcher 2, because it kind of separates out the experiences. In town, you're looking at a very specific kind of experience, which is strongly non-combat. You're purchasing, you're getting items, you are going on quests that involve conversation, negotiation, and investigation. And then when you go out of the town, you're largely on quests that involve killing and combat. And I think that's actually, it makes a really good distinction so far from what I've seen, because it sets the expectations very well. Like I was mentioning earlier when someone was saying, oh, this seems really slow. It seems like there's a lot of, just running around looking for things. That's actually a big part of The Witcher 2. And it seems to really be tied into their concept of what a witcher is and does. Like, he's a very political person. He involves himself in local politics as a result of interacting with the local authorities. And at the same time, his very existence is political. And so being in town and investigating sort of what's going on in the area exposes you to all of those aspects. And then also, as a witcher, as a monster hunter, a lot of his job is based around finding out information about the monsters he's hunting. Like, there were parts of these side quests where I had to go find out information about Endrigas, find out information about Neckers. I find that really interesting. I think that's quite well done. What do I think about crafting systems? The filthiest of peasants asks. He's thinking about The Witcher, the Elder Scrolls. Man, interesting. I really like The Witcher's crafting system because you have all of these wildly different components, but they all boil down into a smaller subset of crafting components. Aqua Regia and Rebus and Chelum and, the alchemical ingredients, albedo. I think that's very neat because it sort of implies something about the world, and it, without even sort of telling you, it says something very interesting, which is that, like, the way that alchemy works in The Witcher, the world of The Witcher, is that there are these fundamental ingredients or chemicals inside of everything, and those are what you're actually combining, and it's the job of an alchemist or a witcher to extract those fundamental ingredients and then use those. So that's very interesting. Crafting systems like the Elder Scrolls uses, where you're doing the same thing over and over and over in order to get better to where you can do something bigger, that makes logical sense because that's kind of the way it works in real life. You have to practice a skill over and over and over in order to get better at it. But I don't know that it translates very well into a video game, because I like, as a blacksmith in Skyrim, if I want to make if I want to make a really high quality weapon, I have to first craft a bunch of rusty daggers, and then I've got an inventory pack that's full of rusty daggers, and that's worthless to me. Like, that's really lame that I have all these shitty weapons that I have nothing to do with but go to a shop and sell them. Maybe I could see a system where you have to do all of that stuff, but then you have an NPC who automatically sells your surplus. Like, you maybe flag items if you don't want the NPC to sell them, and then, like, you get revenue from your crafting over time, rather than always needing to just carry, like, a bag of daggers to the local corner store and be like, hey, do you want to buy 67 daggers? Of course you do. You're an NPC in a video game. I'd like to see something where the improvement is almost abstracted. Like, I don't know. It's really tough to accurately represent something like that. So really it comes down to, does it feel skillful? Does it feel like it has an impact on the game? Is it something that's interesting to do? Eplesh1 asks, what do I think about generally negative settings? And I assume you mean like dark settings, because he asks, because I work on Warhammer 40k, I play The Witcher 2. Do I also play feel-good games like Mario and Zelda? The most recent Zelda game that I played was Skyward Sword, and I loved it. I really like darker settings. Not necessarily darker settings. I like this style of grim fantasy in The Witcher 2 because it feels, like I mentioned when I was talking with Laredo, it feels like everybody is a well-realized and well-rounded character that's acting from their motivations. And that's really important for creating a game that feels real. Like, I really buy into the world that they've created with The Witcher. I understand why Laredo is acting the way that he is. Zcoticus asks, do I think there's an over-reliance on the collect or kill X of Y style quests, and what changes can be made to improve quests in games? Okay, Zcoticus, this is an interesting question. Many video games sort of simulate you as a brute force warrior. Like, if you were in the real world and you just went around knocking on people's doors and saying, is there anything you have to do for me? The kind of tasks that you would get in the real world for asking that question would also be really boring, because people don't need you to just show up and say, hey, got anything for me to do? The reason people get jobs that are very in-depth and very detailed are because they require a lot of expertise. And it's really hard to put the player in a position of having a lot of expertise to offer. So actually, I think that The Witcher does a much better job of this than like many MMOs, for example, which are literally just go kill X or collect X kind of quests. And the reason that The Witcher does it so well is because it presents you, the player, as a professional monster hunter who has skill in this. And they bring that in a couple of different ways. The fighting system requires skill, as you guys can see. I'm dying a bunch because I'm playing carelessly and I'm getting ruined. But also, it requires expertise in the form of knowledge about monsters, because if you equip the right potions and oils, you'll be a lot more effective. If you use the right weapon, you'll be a lot more effective. And then also, it requires you to actually go and do that research in-game. Reading the lore about the monsters is directly helpful to solving quests. So all of a sudden, yes, the task in the quest itself is literally kill 10 neckers, or, you know, destroy 4 necker nests. But in order to get there, I have to do a number of steps along the way that are not explicitly laid out in the quest, such as, you know, find information about neckers, which was explicitly laid out in the quest. But then the quest jumps straight to solve the problem. And I have a whole bunch of steps that I have to take on my own, like making the potions, finding the recipes, gathering the materials. That makes me feel like a professional. So I think that does it very well. PKMN Diku asks, have I learned anything or taken anything from The Witcher 2 that I haven't expected to? I would say probably not yet, because so far I've only gone through stuff that I've played before. But I'll be interested to reconsider that question when I get to the very end of my playthrough. Let's see if there's one more quick question I can answer before we end things. The Filthiest of Peasant asks, do I think open world RPGs give you too much agency? Again, with the Elder Scrolls and Fallout in mind particularly, is there a way to make this more realistic but still fun? Too much agency. I love Skyrim, and Oblivion. But I often find myself rarely following through on the main quest lines. The most interesting experience for me when playing Skyrim is actually like downloading a mod that gives me a random start and a random character and puts me in a random part of the world, and then I play like very heavy survival type game where I have realistic diseases, realistic weather, realistic like food and drink needs, and then it becomes this really intense game of like, who am I? Why am I here? How can I get out of whatever situation I've been dropped in randomly? And how can I survive? And the agency that the game gives me in that kind of experience is you have all of these ways that you could potentially ensure your survival. And give yourself the stability that you need to get away from needing to survive and into exploring the world and investigating it. I think the critical thing about open world games is that they need to give players a way to motivate themselves. And you see this in tabletop games as well with what we call sandbox style games or hex crawls, where the players around the table need to bring their own motivations for playing the game. And then all of a sudden the game opens up and gets incredibly rich. The mods I was talking about in Nyctoceras were realistic needs. There's a weather mod called Frostfall, and there's just a mod, I think it's just called Random Start. Those things create a really interesting experience for me. So open world games which give the player a lot of agency as far as choosing what they do, I think that's really great and it's really interesting, but it's not for everybody because it targets players who naturally have more of a personal drive to go do things. I'd almost be very curious to see an open world game that lets you, like it just generates a list of goals for you and then you pick one. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, collect these ancient artifacts, read all of these books, speak to these important figures in the world. And then you can sort of go down this list of randomly generated but deeper goals and say, oh, what about this game is interesting to me? I choose that goal. Okay, let's set out and start doing it. Not even an in-game quest, but presenting it in such a way that it feels much more like something that the player is choosing rather than just a random, a quest that an NPC on the side of the road is giving you. I think that's a very interesting question, so thank you for asking that one. The filthiest of peasant. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by and watching the latest version of A Designer Plays. Sorry, this one was a little slower as I got into the investigation part of these quests and then died a bunch of times without quick saving. I'm going to need to make sure that I quick save a bunch. I might even play a little bit offline just to get up to where I was and then quick save there so we can start next time without seeing the interim stuff. So that's all for today. Definitely do check out the talk that I did last night with Adam Coble for the first episode of Being Everything Else, a show about running games, running tabletop pen and paper games specifically. That was a lot of fun, and we talked a ton about really interesting tabletop game mastering issues. So, that's it. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Silent Osiris. You can find this video on YouTube once I upload it at youtube.com/Silent Osiris as well. So that's all for today. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon.